world is full of secrets. Then you have giant doors. Now, everybody knows that humanity was reset and that these humans and their parents and grandparents are not the builders of these giant doors made out of giant stone with tons and tons and tons and lots of work and stuff, and they didn't have the technology or the means to construct this. And why the heck would you build these giant doors? So these are like the people who were brought as orphans and they were allowed to grow, so a different humanity, an experimental humanity. Unfortunately, they are not aware as well. I mean, of course, yeah, no, you can't speak with this with people in public because they just think you're crazy, and that's it. End of story. So this one, of course, this as well, this statue and this building was not built by this humanity. It was there beforehand, and obviously this is a power station for the use of ether energy from the atmosphere. And this huge statue again was built by a different humanity. These are not ornaments. These are like, and all these buildings, they are not built by this humanity. They're from the previous humanity. These are like just the newcomers who inherited all this because of force. And these things are also used for getting the energy, the ether energy, which is infinite, free, no money to be paid for, from the atmosphere and the ionosphere. So yeah, everybody knows that. This is from the 1915 Panama Pacific International Expedition in San Francisco. As you know, San Francisco was an imperial city of the previous humanity, which was all across this crater world. And this is the Arch of the Rising Sun, Court of the Universe, night illumination. So this was built by the previous humanity with electrical power, infinite power, and a different technology. And yeah, this is the same as we see in Russia and Japan and China and Europe and the Americas, of course, and South America as well. So yeah. And this one, of course, so this is not built by the United States. The United States was a country which was created artificially, and in the Americas there was this different humanity which was all across the world. And these humans here are the new humans, so their grandparents did not build these things. And the whole history of the US is fake as well, and of the world. So yeah, there you go. And this free electromagnetic energy as much as you want. This was not built by people like you and me. And this again, it's impossible. So look at the size of these things in comparison with the humans. These humans are not the builders of this. It's a previous humanity, and all these were said to be built, have been built like as experimental expositions, right? And then they were just like destroyed. Yeah, whoever believes that, they still live in Candyland. And check this out, like the technology, the primitive technology here with the horses and the carriages. These type of humans do not build these type of buildings. No way. So here again, huge, tremendous, impressive, amazing. These people are not the builders of such a supreme awesomeness creation of civilization. Again here, so they just come and they have no clue where they are. They have no clue who built these obelisks and these huge buildings and columns. And this is in the Americas. You see this picture for the first time and you say it's definitely Italy or Europe. No, it's the Americas. Who built this in the Americas in the 19th century, you know? And then here again as well, these like flags, I guess they were repurposed for being for flags, but they were actually like antennas for the use of electromagnetic energy from the ether. And then this again, this is not a cathedral, it's nothing to do with religion. This is a power station for the use. It's gigantically huge, amazing, impressive, and the symmetry and the rose window and everything. So yeah, nothing to do with religion or God. This is a power station. But then of course you cannot argue with the indoctrinated humans. Here you have people enjoying their day at the sea, and then you have here the electromagnetic power station as well, built by the previous humanity. Probably doesn't even exist anymore. So yeah, and this is the same as in India and all the Asian countries. They have these types of buildings for the use of electromagnetic energy from. You can actually see the whole creation. It's for that purpose as well. Again here, so check out the difference between the buildings. So this awesomeness, supreme technology, and this pathetic here in the background. So this type of building here in the background, which is pathetic, was built by our humans, and these things were built by the previous humanity. So there you go. And then the Hindenburg incident, which was not an accident, it was like artificially created so that people would not be able to fly across the ocean using zeppelins. The Germans were using this all the time. This was functioning with helium and then hydrogen and water motors. So this is what the previous humanity used to as well to travel. And with the Hindenburg incident, everything came to an end, because it is forbidden to live a proper life with infinite energy and technology, and to live without paying debt.
The ill-fated Hindenburg on her last flight sails over New York. These pictures, made from a Pathé News plane less than 4 hours before the tragedy, show the world's largest airship heading for Lakehurst, New Jersey. Over Newark's famous auto skyway, the airship was hailed by thousands who little dreamed it was their final glimpse of the Hindenburg. Rushing to the rescue, the heroes of the tragedy dash in, heedless of danger, to help the injured to safety, while others, beyond help, perish in the flames. She represented man's latest attempt to conquer the Atlantic by air. Her tragedy will not halt the march of progress. From her ashes will arise the knowledge, from her fate the lesson, that will lead to a greater and a better means of mastering the air. If so, her dead will not have died in vain.
And stuff like that, as you know. And here you have the volcano in Nicaragua, and then you have the copper mining pile and iron mining pile. So this just proves to you that volcanoes are just mining piles of a different humanity which was bigger than us, and they were exploiting the earth at a much higher rate, right? So it's the same principle. It's just this is our humanity doing, and this is the previous humanity. That's why it's called a volcano. It's so giant and huge. So all the volcanoes in the world are just mining piles of shit, from the exploitation of minerals and stuff. There you go. The technology used by the previous humanity, which was way more advanced than ours. It was functioning with infinite energy, with water, ether, and all that stuff. So just like we see in the movies. And then of course it had to come to an end, because if it doesn't come to an end, then you can't force the population to pay debts and to live with petrol and oil and stuff like that. So yeah, unfortunately for us, slaves in this crater. And how do you build this? This was not built by your average sculptures and stuff. This was built with laser and with 3D printers and stuff. So this is impossible to be built by hand. But then if you go to university, to art class and stuff, if you say that this was built by super technology in the previous centuries, everybody's gonna laugh at you with the chickens and the pigs, because that's how humans think. And this is again, how do you do this by hand? Impossible. This was done with technology by the previous humanity, so it's impossible to be created by hand. But then again, if you argue against the supreme academics and professors and teachers and all the people who need their life to continue like that with money, then you're screwed. And then this is something, of course, again, it's anti-practical. So a human being like this, a normal human being like you and me, impractical to be using this type of machine. This was probably built by maybe they just use the engineering to actually build something similar to what the previous humanity had. And this is like electric energy from the ether. So these antennas, they get the energy from the air, and the light bulb goes on. That's proper Tesla technology, which also comes from a different place. And then this is the crater Earth we live in, and then you have the summer gate somewhere here, where you go outside of this crater, beyond the ice walls, and you get to different continents and other waters and stuff, and then so on and so on. So it's the world outside of these boundaries is full of other worlds and continents and waters and civilizations, and they're monitoring us and they see everything we do. So yeah, probably maybe they're even not, maybe those guys who are here, they're just like more advanced humans, or maybe they are the humans who created humanity in this crater, who knows. But yeah, that's fascinating, and definitely this is more logical, way more logical than living on a globe spinning in space. Uncle Sam, this is the Watch Palace and the World Fair in San Francisco, California. And in 1918, and I have no clue if this is fake or not, or if Uncle Sam is from a different humanity back in the day. But it is interesting. And then the trains also are interesting. So the technology used by the trains, which was also ether and water and steam, that's definitely a powerful technology, nothing to do with what you learn in school. And then who built this, what technology did they use, and what time period, how do you build this, no clue. And then again here you see these buildings which are supreme symmetric geometry with the use of energy. So again, these humans are not the builders of such a thing. And then obviously the previous humans, they were not in the Middle Ages or the Renaissance, they were a different humanity with these classical buildings with the domes and stuff for the use of electromagnetic energy and everything else. The pharaohs and everything we do with Egypt and the pyramids is also fake, so we'll check that later. And then of course these are like antennas as well for the use of electromagnetic energy, and this was not built by like normal humans, it was there beforehand. And this again is a building from the previous humanity, nothing to do with the builders are not these people. This is in Marseille, and it was there, it was just there like from a previous humanity, and that's it, end of the story. It's unfortunate for those who do not wish to believe. This is like in the also an antenna in the market square, whatever you want to call it, and this is not a cathedral, it's a power station. And you see these things all over the place even today in India and other places in Europe and America. So it's everything for the use of energy. And yeah, there you go, the Hiroshima atomic bomb comparison with the 1906 San Francisco fire and earthquake, which was again direct energy weapons, just like the Hiroshima stuff, with the precision direct energy weapons from the California wildfires in 2018. But it's forbidden to compare these pictures because that's how the world works. And why the heck would you build these giant doors out of metal and then you struggle your tiny little life to operate them? Because these were built by a previous humanity which were like 3 or 4 or 5 times bigger than these humans, and it was left there, for us to afterwards come and then we create our own stories which have no sense, like the Earth globe. Antarctica explorer car. So again, who the heck is able to drive all this? Maybe it's a fake picture, maybe it's not, who knows. But if it's not fake, then definitely if you're like a human 3 times the size of this human, then definitely the car makes sense. So there you go. And then these are like the giants, as you can see here. They don't seem to have any trouble, I mean as in sickness, they just seem to be giants. This is the Hugo family, so check out the gigantic supreme power of these guys. And then again here, you see these people and they look like children compared to these. Maybe these are like the last remnants of the previous humanity that was here before. Again, a human who is like way bigger than he should be. It doesn't seem that he is suffering from an illness like gigantism or something. It's just like his body proportions are like that. So maybe different humanity, and a humanity like us who is afraid of this humanity because obviously they are much stronger and wiser and more intelligent than us, definitely. And that's why it's forbidden to speak about these things, because people get depressed, because that's what people do in our day and age, especially with what's happening in the world. And this is India. India, as you know, is a country full of these gigantic they call them temples, but they're not temples, they're power stations. And of course they were not built by the current Indian population, but you can't say that, because if you do, just like you say in Japan or China, then you're kicked out of the country and lots of stuff happens. And then this is like what we saw with the pictures of San Francisco and California in 2018, and everything happened in Hiroshima and in Japan, again with direct energy weapons, very easy. The pyramids in Antarctica and the Arctic Circle, forbidden to explore, but it's full of pyramids there, full of technology, full of stuff under the snow, but it's forbidden to explore and to know the truth. A human being which looks like who looks like a tiny little bean compared to the gigantic vegetation. So where you have gigantic vegetation, you have gigantic humanities and gigantic animals. So there you go. We feel very small because this world is not ours. We're just guests. And why would you create these doors for you to be impossible to reach the handle and open them? Why? Because these doors were created by a different humanity for a different humanity, not for us. And if you like double the size, then it's obviously what you would be able to use, but unfortunately we are now smaller, and who decided that? Nobody knows, and this obviously goes against all Christianity and stuff, because Christians would have their short circuits in their brains if they would have to accept all the truths, and not just them, but I'm just giving an example. So yeah, and that's it, all those pictures, hopefully you enjoyed them, and I'll see you guys in the next video.